Rachel Bradley, and this is the Armageddon update. And women are mad, and they're not going to take it anymore.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Miss Rachel, and I won't have it.
Women are protesting in the streets. Oh, well, not here, because in America, women lose our rights. We pin a tweet and get back to our Peloton, Botox, and Spanx. Because we gotta look pretty when we ask our boss, again, why Bob, Dick, and Larry get paid 30% more. Nah, not here in America. In Iran, where women get killed for protesting and for prohibited sexual relations, sexual misconduct, political dissidence, waging war against God, spreading corruption on earth, or showing their hair. There is a murder menu, though: stoning, firing squad, falling from heights, or waterboarding with falafel. In early September, Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old girl from Kurdistan, went to Iran to visit family, where everything goes to shit. And oh, I don't mean Iran. I mean with family. And she was arrested by the morality police. Yeah, that's a thing. For improperly wearing her hijab, meaning that some of her hair was visible. Mahsa died later in custody. Witnesses said she was brutally beaten in the van and at the station for showing hair. And that was the straw that broke the camel toe. And women and girls as young as 15, yes, little girls, they took to the streets and they're cutting off their hair and taking off their hijabs and their Barbies' hijabs. And they've been there for 8 weeks now, screaming, women, life, freedom. In the first 3 weeks, security forces killed at least 150 people as young as 16 and injured and arrested thousands. Earlier this month, the headquarters for enjoining good and forbidding evil.
Meanwhile, at the headquarters for enjoining the right and forbidding the evil.
Yeah, that's a thing too. An Orwellian thing. Announced that it had arrested 300 women for supposedly acting as heads of different networks who want to challenge the forced veiling laws. And come on, ladies, 300 networks? We gotta get organized. One network. The government says that parts of the Quran written in 610 when mass transit was camel and the musings of the Prophet Muhammad dead in 632 justified this insane law. Although Muslim religious writing is a little all over the place. Whether women should wear a veil or whether semen originates in the backbone or the ribs, that's 86 verse 7. Although it's very clear that it was Muhammad's wife's job to scrape semen off of him. In fact, the Karnataka High Court, that's a thing, just ruled this year that the Quran does not require women to wear the hijab. The problem is, the enforcement of the hijab had loosened until Raisi was made president in August of last year. The all-around friendly guy and favorite bowling buddy who likes to hang with his boys and who led the 1988 massacre of political prisoners, killed almost 30,000. He implemented a chastity and hijab law and came up with the term bad hijab women. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm pretty sure he called Trump for a quote, bad hijab women, ordering those women to lose access to public transportation, government and bank services, and required businesses to deny service to these bad hijab women. That is some small dick energy. Women have been arrested, beaten, and killed. The government started using surveillance cameras and facial recognition to identify women not wearing veils or wearing them incorrectly. Because in Iran, you cannot wear your hijab jaunty. And look, some women choose to cover, and I get it. I, too, have terrible hair days. Take today, for example. The problem is forcing women to do anything. The problem is men deciding on a different set of rights for women. The problem is that it's only done to women and minorities. And hey, women in the U.S. should take notice how quickly men in power can get out of control. You know, once you allow them to take a few of your rights and say a religious book authorized them to do it. But guys, seriously, we cannot just enforce some parts of the Bible for women. We have to enforce all the parts. And I have a few passages in the Bible about eunuchs that are going to blow your mind. That's right, boys. Men with a camel toe. Eunuchs? Yeah, that's a thing. Women, life, freedom. I'm Rachel Bradley, and this is the Armageddon Update.
Okay, you got to get him walk out the door. You got to walk out the door.
I don't want to get up.
I know you got to mumble about. That's how we do it.
But I'm not wearing real pants.
You just got to go. Just
you trying to tell me what to do is small diction energy, and I'll see myself out for that bad joke. Good night,
mumble
everybody.
about Iran now.
So stupid. I can't get out of here. I couldn't get out of it.
Just go out the door right now, for God. All right, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That was the lovely Bombshell Ray on the Armageddon Update. Good job.
Thank you.
Should we applause? Is there an applause?
Yeah.
Is that condescending?
I feel like it was more.
Is that condescending?
It was a little more. Yes, everything you do is condescending.
With me as always, Bombshell Ray and the Highlander.
What's up, people?
There could be only one.
Yeah,
we got bogged down right away.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to say, "What's up, people?" And that's why I introduced you. But you said,
but Ken asked me a question.
I know, but you said.
He said, "Should we applaud?" Is that condescending? You weren't listening, which
yeah,
was also condescending.
By the way, any man watches that is scared now. We're scared.
I'm super sensitive.
And he blamed me, not you. I just want to point out.
Every man who watched it Armageddon is like, Jesus. She covered all of it.
It's crazy when you read about what's happening over there. Even you, when you were reading that, you just kept going, damn. Like, it's really shocking what women are living in over there.
Here's my insight into it. You in my life are probably the smartest person I know. You've handled things with our business in a way that I don't have the smarts to, and I think when guys, it's funny, the men that want to control women are the weakest motherfuckers I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, the guys are like, women need to be controlled.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you can't control one, bro. Why don't you cut me in a dick? If you just have, here's how women are controlled. Be nice. Be nice and quit being an asshole. Women are human beings. It's just weird how it's weird. It's always the same guy, and whether it's in Iran or whether it's in Alabama, it's always the same fucking moron. That's like, man, these women are out of control. Man, my bitch will hold down. It's like, dude,
there's a lot of those same guys.
They're there's
everywhere.
a lot of them. That's the problem, and you've dealt with them your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you'd keep talking.
You married one. He's not that way anymore.
You weren't like that when I met you.
No.
You've always been
RESPECT.
a thinker. Because you watched your dad not give respect, so you were very aware of that when I met you.
But he also lost out. Here's a good example. That you remind me of something. I didn't even know you were going to say this. Carolyn, his third wife, what you always talk about, white tiger, that we're each other's white tiger. Mm-hmm. She was his white tiger. This woman, she managed a company. She was a badass, beautiful, smart, funny. And I remember when Dad got divorced, and she took care of everything. She had 2 kids that were we fought all the time, but that's different. And she was everything he wanted in a woman. And he decided that he didn't want to deal with the problem of her kids. And I'll never forget the first time I saw my dad cry. It fucking freaked me out. I was 10 or 11. And we were driving down, I don't know, this street called Birch in our neighborhood. And my dad is just sobbing. And you got to remember, I never saw my dad sob, but I'm 11. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on now? Right. And he said, she was the one. She was the one. And now it's over. He blamed us kids, by the way.
He also wanted to sleep around.
Yeah.
Which was the other.
Yeah, that's the other.
Again, wasn't popular with the women.
He had mixed feelings.
When they found out.
We talked about this on the family trip. People, why don't you do 23andMe and find out where your people are from? I'm like, I don't want to find the extra brothers I have up in Northern California where my dad drove around in his territory. Right. I have a lot of brothers and sisters in his sales territory. I'm pretty sure.
I got an idea of where everybody's from. I know.
His Aunt Kathy's totally on board, though. She's like, what if there's someone out there that looks like your dad or you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right. I got it. I got a mirror.
What if your normal family is just out there waiting for us?
Do you think by now they would have reared their giant heads?
No.
Exactly.
No, but there is a
it's Mardi
guy.
Gras. That's Titus.
There is a guy
No,
working
Titus'
at the
cousin.
bowling alley in Modesto that everyone says, dude, you look exactly like Christopher Titus. And he was like, that's
See?
like his small town claim to fame.
Yeah.
But he has no idea.
No
that,
concept.
especially if your dad was a one-nighter through. A
Oh.
lot of those women didn't know his name.
Redding, Eureka, Shasta. There's a whole. I listen. It may not be true. He may have been smarter than that. But yeah, you're right. No. So there's somebody.
Did he have
Or there's
birth
or
control
there's a
of
very
any
very
form?
masculine looking sister
There's a
out
beer
there.
can.
Very
That would
masculine
be
looking
cool.
sister. That's like, how's it going? You know what I mean?
We need stonework done on the house. Is your dad, did he ever have like birth control of any form, or was that up to the woman to deal with?
Well, as always, it should be up to the woman. It's you're responsible.
Did he ever, you never saw condoms?
I'm sure. Yeah, he had condoms in his drawer and stuff. Yeah, he always did. Dad had, again, it's the joke I do in that thing. Like in the morning, I'd meet these women. Hi, I just want you to know me and your dad. There's no you and my dad. Here's your car keys. Here's your complimentary t-shirt. Thanks you for coming.
Well, maybe he used birth control. I really doubt, as much as he drank too.
What's really funny
Maybe
is
Right.
he
He wouldn't
drank
have-
so much.
they would have shown
his
up,
boys
though,
didn't
right?
swim.
They would have shown up.
How would they know?
I
How
mean,
would
so
they
it was
know?
just a slut wait. Yeah, if you're gonna sleep with my dad, you pretty much
You
just
go,
skis.
you're out, you're drinking at the pizza.
Yeah.
It was always a place with pizza.
Yeah, yes.
Mhm.
Pizza was part of it. Yeah.
He has a ton of beer. She's drunk. And
Hits on her-
it's
they-
one night, and that's it.
And you know damn well he gave a fake name.
Yeah, Enrique.
You know damn well.
Enrique.
he was in the man-ho witness protection program for many years.
So there could be someone who has no idea.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be fun? I think we should do it on this podcast.
This was a
right, guys?
discussion that we had over the family vacation. Family vacation was, I've never been more tired after being on vacation, honestly.
Because this was the first year. So I think I've said this before, but I have an uncle who is my blood related uncle who is Jewish, raised in New York and in the fashion industry. And he was adopted at birth, raised by a Jewish couple, raised to believe that, first of all, Judaism is his faith, but also that he is Jewish. And a lot of things have happened. But anyway, this was the first year I have,
Why don't we just say this simply?
I'm tapped.
Because you're
I'm
trying.
tapped. I'm
I've never
really-
seen someone avoid the issue.
I'm
with,
really trying. The point being that he's been in my life for a long
She's just
time. He's been in my
circling.
mom's life. And when I found him, it was like the family
It's
I always wanted.
It's a great story though, because mom found him. Like mom was older.
Yeah.
She found out she had a brother
Yep.
that
Yep.
lived in New York. She tracked him down. Had an investigator find him, right?
It doesn't matter.
And then brought him back into the family, and that created a whole thing. Problem.
Well, she didn't bring him into the family. She didn't really want to share him because he was so cool and so fun
Yep.
and normal. And so,
How does
but
that feel?
point being, this was the first time that I arranged that he and my awesome Aunt Julie be at a family gathering.
Yeah, it
First
was
time
great.
he's been around my
and
grandma.
they so added such a great thing to it.
And so that's what
They're
he said.
awesome.
He's
That's fun.
now found out that he's a redneck Jew. So he's 50-50.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
And because you got
It
grandma
is
on
now.
this side, it is now. And so that was kind of the conversation. Like if my mom had never kept searching, she would have never found this brother who was the closest person to her in her life for the last 12 years of her life. So maybe you have a special someone. out
Yeah,
there.
and I don't want to know. Don't want to know. Don't want to have to talk to more people about borrowing money.
I know what
I'm
you're
just
getting
not.
for
I'm
Christmas.
good. I'm really good.
Let's get it for him.
I'm really
Is
good.
there a way for us to make him take the test without him knowing?
You live with him, yes.
I will tell you this.
How?
I'll do
Is
it.
it a spit thing?
I'll
or
tell
what
you.
is it?
I'll do it, but I'm not sending it in, and I don't want to really know I don't.
Can
wanna know.
we read the results on the podcast?
Everybody. I hear people going, "Oh my god, that would be awesome."
And then I'll Photoshop the photos of who it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger's son mixed with...
That's a weird kid
Yeah,
looking.
right?
Yeah.
He's
By the way, that kid was born. People were like, why does she look?
He looks like a caricature of Schwarzenegger.
Let's get back to Iran. The coolest. Here's what people in Iran, any dictatorship, any strongman, any authoritarian regime doesn't quite understand. And Hitler knew it because Hitler got the Hitler Youth, and once he had the youth, Germany was going to fall to the Nazis. what's happening in Iran, and I saw a video of it. There's 3 little girls. They're 8, 9, and 10. They were little girls swinging their hijabs, screaming, woman, life, freedom. And I saw the video and I went, oh, you guys are fucked and you have no clue. Like, they think they're going to be able to shut it down. You can kill this. They've given up. The problem is you can't take over people who are willing to die for what they believe. You just can't. You just can't do it. Yeah. That's why we had to leave Vietnam. They were like, they didn't give a shit. They're like, hey, we're going to go as hard as we have to until you leave. Yeah. And that's what's going on in Iran right now. And I wish these guys would understand it.
Well, and that, I kind of touched on it, that certainly women have never been afforded equality in Iran, but for a while, it had loosened. Because the supreme leader, that's a thing too.
The Shah of Iran.
There's a supreme leader that appointed the president. He's been in for a long time, but they passed this law in 1979, but it was very unpopular at a time, so he backed off. And that's why it's created this big deal. So women apparently were letting it fall back. They were letting it drape around their shoulders. It was
creeping.
just slowly.
And it was like really slow striptease.
How's it going, Iran?
A decade-long striptease. Just speed up the film.
Just really slow. Dun, 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 dun.
Times that video by 100.
Slow-mo.
A
little bit of ankle.
Just leaning on a pole.
Put this guy in 2021, the guy that killed 30,000 people and, the nice guy, he has just locked it down. He's the one doing the facial recognition to catch bad hijab women. That's the whole thing. They're using software to catch them, letting it fall back. So this girl visits family in Iran. She's 22. She's showing like this much hair is coming out, and she gets detained by the morality police.
Not Orwellian at all.
No,
that's totally fine.
Detained in the van. Witnesses saw her being beaten in the van. Take her to the station. People said that she was beaten there. There is video of her collapsing on the floor of the station.
She had a heart attack at one point.
She died. And now the leaders in Iran are saying, oh, she had a heart condition. Her family's like, she was completely healthy.
She was 22, bro.
Yeah.
She instantly had a heart condition.
Yeah. So what happened in the van? We gave her a heart condition. What?
Via beatings.
So what I'm watching is, and what was great is that you see, so let's say it was just the women protesting. That's bad. And the kids and the young females are doing it. What I watched, I saw a video of a guy, one of the morality police guys gets out of his car and he goes and gets a motorcycle, gets off, slaps this woman. And you see 4 guys beat the living fuck out of this dude. And I was like, there you go. Now the men are like, yeah man. If you bring up some pictures of in the 70s, Iran in the 70s, it's crazy. It's just women like mini skirts, walking around, having fun on the beach. Yeah, before 79. Well, the Shah turned it. It was very modern. That's why there's this weird faction. You meet some Iranians sometimes and they go, no, I'm Persian. Because that was a different time. And what it shows is the effort. Just imagine the effort it takes to fucking sit on a population and make them do that for that long. Imagine that energy put into the economy, that energy put into trade, that energy put into making people's lives better. But instead, they turned it into these the oppressive, and it's all, again, it goes back to weak men with small dicks. That's all it is.
All women and minorities. And again, some women choose to cover. And that's not who we're talking about. We're talking about forced veiling. It's forced. They have made it a law, punishable obviously by death, punishable by what they call lashing, which is a nice way of saying beating the shit out of these women. You can be pulled off the street by the morality police and taken to an education center, which is where they were taking her to educate her on proper hijab placement. I mean, this is insane. So now they're gathering up women that they think are heading up these networks.
Again, not organized. 300 different organizations. Guys, get us, guys. Can we all just all meet in one place? Well, I don't like her. She's a bitch. No.
Well, maybe it needs to be separated. Like there's no leader of Black Lives Matter. Like they can't really take it down if there's 300 separate ones.
True.
Right.
That's true.
So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Everybody should be a leader. I think anybody who joins Black Lives Matter or this women's movement in Iran, it should be a leader. Here's why I'm glad you did this, because right now and it's creeping on us, and people don't get it. What's happened in Texas? What's happened with these anti-abortion laws? They're anti-women, is what they are. They're forced birth laws. People are like it's weird to watch, like people just kind of rolling over and accepting them. They're accepting voting restrictions and everything.
Name a right that men have lost, not black men, but white men. Name a right that men.
Circumcised penis, I guess.
No, you have the right not to do that.
Oh, we do now.
Yeah.
I guess back in the.
Vaccines. Oh, we got to take vaccines. Wow, we're good.
We can't catcall anymore.
No, we can catcall.
We can?
Yeah.
No, you
I
can't.
cackle.
No, you
Cackle.
can't.
Catcall.
Catcall.
Oh, I thought you said cackle.
Cackle?
I cackle all the time. When I, you make me laugh. I thought you said cackle. I'm like,
That's
I have
the right.
I have a
Ken
cackle.
has
also can't
lost.
cackle.
Is catcalling and grabbing women's asses.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can't.
Okay.
Although the president tried to bring it back, grab him by the pussy. He
He
tried
really
to bring
did.
it
Yeah.
back. He did. He did try to reinstate that right.
This is what's fascinating to me is that we see you. I don't mean Almina. I'm talking about the men that try to oppress women. We know what's happening under the hood. It's 100%. It's the guy that yells out constantly when I'm on stage performing versus the guy that sits there and just watches the show because he's confident in what's under the hood. It's embarrassingly apparent.
Well, that's a great way to put
what's
it.
wrong.
He's
It's
under a hood at home too.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, and we all see it. And it's like, why would you not want women to be empowered? And
Right.
because it takes away your right to catcall and grab their asses, and they might take your jobs because they might work because they do work harder. We were watching the Stalker show that's on Netflix.
The Stalker on Netflix. It made me really uncomfortable.
I
the
was
whole
Stalker
sick,
show?
and so
and we
it's like,
we watched 9 episodes of it.
Yeah.
She was sick and it was disturbing, so we continued to
Yes,
watch
give it
it.
to
So
me.
we continued.
So it's educating people about the crap stalker laws that we have here and how people are not protected. But 80+% of stalkers are men.
Uh-huh.
20-ish less percent are women. And so out of the whole season, they did like all men and 2 women, I think. And I told him I was fascinated by it. So the first guy like that they show his whole stalking plan, it's like he has a 32 pack of Crayola crayons with the sharpener. He's sitting in the car. He makes a journal and writes down every detail of every criminal thing he did, which they then found.
Or he wants
when
to
they-
do. Or he wants to do. Then he drew the other guy drew a map of the girl's house.
Then-
All in crayon.
Then they get to the first woman and they set up who she is. They
Wait,
set up.
I want to explain. I know what you're trying to hear. So
I'm sure I can handle
every
it by
man,
myself.
every man,
But
no,
thank
baby,
you.
baby, you're so
I got
cute.
it.
You're so special. Every man had.
Let me summarize what you're about to
every
do.
man had the dumbest fucking. She's right. Every man had the dumbest fucking plan.
I think I covered that.
Then you said Crayola. You weren't specific.
I did.
I'm gonna be
Oh
clear.
my gosh. So
And I
then
really don't catcall. That was a joke. Okay? Don't fucking leave it in the
they
comments.
get to the first woman and they set up who she is. They set up the woman that she's mad at. And then the action begins and it says, but to avoid detection, Sarah then waited 1 year after the incident
The long game.
to avoid detection. Then
what she did,
Sarah does this shit to this girl that scares the crap out of her, but she's like researching ancient Greek and voodoo dolls
Occult
and cult and traditions and writing in that old language. And then she
Wow.
puts a voodoo doll in a jar, but she goes and gets not sand, but dirt from the cemetery, puts
Dang.
the dirt.
in gashes and shit, and then she was
I'm
doing
like-
pentagram, like in pictures with her face covered with a pentagram, and she
The
did that
most interesting
a year
novel
later.
that she's-
No
and it's
wonder
why,
men are scared.
It's why Shakespeare said, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned." It's like we don't get scorned. We're like, fuck, all right, I'll just go over here and do something. I'm gonna go
I'll
play with
just
my
sit in
penis.
your car
I'm gonna
with my binoculars.
It's not binocular. He's using like one of those clicky things. These are pictures of cartoon characters. What do they call that? What is that thing
Oh, I
called?
can't remember.
The
God.
guy, some of the guys in prison, because they interview the people. Some of the guys were like the first guy. He seemed sorry, a little crazy, but he was
He
sorry.
was really crazy.
Still wanted her back.
One
but-
of the things he gets said though, he goes, I've been arrested for felonies 15 times, only been convicted of 6.
Oh, that guy.
And I was like, dude, I'm getting away with shit. No, you're not really.
The second guy.
We're interviewing you in prison.
The second guy was sorry. It was who I was
Second
talking
guy
about.
but then
they get to this guy who then goes to her elderly parents' home, and he stopped and, purchased handcuffs and a stun gun. And then they cut to his interview in the prison, and he's like, and then I went to a toy store and I purchased a pair of toy handcuffs and a toy stun gun. And we were like,
toy stun gun. I'm like, how many kids are like, can I get a toy stun gun? So then he says
they
this.
were toys.
Then he says this. He goes, so when I got there, she was kind of freaking out. So I
couldn't calm her down.
I couldn't calm her down. So I took the toy stun gun and I just zapped her. And I'm like, and we were like, wait,
did he just make the sound?
No,
but he did say toy stun gun.
No, there's no such thing as a toy stun gun. He just kept putting the word toy. So anyways, I got a toy AK-47 and I used toy .226 rounds.
Then he got in his toy runaway car.
Anything that he said that was a nasty fucking
he
weapon.
Put toy in front of it. Yeah. We were like, what is going on?
I got a toy machete, and then
clearly he was working on an appeal.
Cut off her toy head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as long as he put toy in front of all these devices, he was like,
the
cool.
toy stun gun gave the elderly father a heart attack. So anyway, watch the Stalker show if you want to see the difference between men and women.
But you know what I noticed? Every guy that talked, even the guy that was supposedly remorseful, when he got out, he still they interviewed him again, and he was kind of like, yeah, well, I need to call her.
I think we can be back together.
I think, yeah. He goes, I'd like to get back with her. He goes, I know. And one guy said this. I know that's impossible. Maybe it's not impossible. Oh, dude, you just did prison time. So there, and then the girl too. The girl, there's an ex. I was watching it thinking there is a mental problem in all of these people that needs to be diagnosed. They probably have it, but like, what is it? Like they all said this, and none of them, not a fucking one of them, thought they did something really wrong. The one guy that you said he was kind of remorseful, but it sounded like he was repeating shit that he heard from a therapist.
It was just stalking. It's not like
one guy said that. One guy goes,
I would rather be convicted of murder than stalking.
Because
so he was convicted of murder
because you weren't committed enough.
You're a pussy, I guess.
So
losers stalk people.
So didn't have any accomplishments.
So they let him out after 6 months.
And he killed someone.
And
now he's in for murder.
And he killed her friend, the girl that he was stalking's friend. And now he's back in prison forever.
And he's fine with that.
Because at least he's a murderer now.
But he did say
at least the
he
upside.
has nothing to do left in prison than sit in the law library and work on his appeal. And he said, I'm uncomfortable in this place, and I'm 58, so it's a life sentence, and I don't want to die here. And again, it's very uncomfortable, and so I'm going to try and get out.
That's too bad.
Well, it's not that he killed some people; it's that he's inconvenienced.
I
think that's
his cod isn't plush enough. I got it.
Tempur-Pedic, not available.
But it all comes down again. This Iran thing comes down to weak ass men, like the guys that are running it. First of all, Iran was beyond all this in the 70s. It was beyond all this orthodox stuff, and then the Khomeini came in and slammed it shut. And I think the one thing I can say about social media is social media has made it easier for everybody to realize what the rest of the world is. And like we've realized in America that the bullshit we've been sold for fucking 40 years was that we're number one. We're we're 14th in education, 37th in healthcare. We're not number one. I mean, the only thing we're number one in, gun deaths. And we're getting close. We're not number one in infant mortality, but we're getting close.
What about obesity, heart disease?
I think heart disease. Well, God, I think we kill it.
So they have indicted over 1,000 people because of these protests, and they are now planning public trials.
What is the purpose?
Which never ends well.
Why are they so against showing hair? And what's the mechanics behind that?
There are a lot of thoughts on this. However,
I mean, we have our own.
What
versions.
I've read,
is
same with ankles, same with because men won't be able to control themselves. So if I see a woman's hair, I have to rape her. and they're trying to put an end to that. So what?
So the solution is,
that's not what everyone believes, but there is a large group of people that say. And my mom had a student that made those shirts, but had to make them in secret and couldn't take credit for them. That said, "I am not," and then in Arabic it's spelled out haram, which is sin.
Sin. All women are basically sin.
Holy shit! So
that's how they live.
It's almost like
they argue that the Quran says because some of the prophets' wives veiled, and so the government actually prefers starts with a CH, the black thing with just the face showing.
Oh yeah,
and if women want to go into government buildings, it's not that. It's
the beekeeper suit. The beekeeper suit.
They have to wear that to go into government buildings and things like that. But these bad hijab women are losing their rights to all government services, public transportation, banking. Businesses are now in trouble if they don't kick these women out or deny them service.
So I read this, and there's literally they lose. Like they couldn't go to it'd be like if in America, if like you wore the wrong thing, you could no longer go to your bank.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
and if the bank didn't enforce it, they could be shut down.
Yeah. So although I don't know, man,
so
we're getting involved in shit that I guess you can't fix the world, but how the fuck in 2022 are we are human beings still acting like this towards each other?
With all the information that we have.
Yeah.
We have examples of, I mean, although we do it ourselves, of other countries doing things much better. So Iran isn't looking at the rest of the world and going,
no, they shut down the internet. No. They actually, there was a request for Elon Musk to turn on Starlink because when all these protests started happening, they shut down the internet.
Right, but they have seen that other countries of the world don't cover up their women and the men aren't raping all of them.
Yes.
Not all of them. They're raping.
There's a percentage. There's some raping.
Maybe there's a.
No, but it's not. Yeah, it's a normal, and it's the rest of the world. But that's the other thing too is we see the internet has made it so we see the rest of the world. All you do is look it up. Look at Norway's healthcare, Swedish. Like if you look at no one else has guns and their gun death is like and by the way, you can still get guns.
Yeah,
they're just controlled, and we're so fucking dumb.
We're doing it too. Yeah.
We're just dumb, man. I mean, I can't believe that Biden got the first gun laws passed in 30 years, and they're so lukewarm and so like weak sauce. But at least they got something through. But God, and we have I don't know, man. People have been getting on me. Someone jumped on me about Twitter. They said, Titus, all you do is tweet political stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because right fucking now, that's where we're at. We got the midterms coming up. We're about to lose our democracy. You fuckers are acting like everything's normal. Less than 19 months ago, we had them fucking try to take the country over. Yeah. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean I'm tweeting about politics? You want me to I can do airplane food jokes, but Jesus Christ, we're losing our we've got Herschel fucking Walker is running in Georgia. The dumbest CTE-est damaged fucking human being who is never a genius is up against this other dude who's a philosophy major, a real reverend. All these people are there, I'm a Christian. Then vote for the guy who's an actual pastor,
actual Christian.
You fucking psychos. And so if you think, why are we talking about politics all the time? Because that's what we have right now. We almost lost our democracy.
It's the same as
get involved after the midterms. If we take the House and Senate, if we keep it, I'll back off. But right now, fuck.
Well, the January 6th thing is still going on.
Yes.
Trump is still, we just found out about his stealing the documents. So people are like, why do you keep talking about Trump? Motherfucker. Because he's still fucking pulling shit.
He just gave nuclear secrets of other countries. He had the Saudis show up at his house. The fuck are you talking about? People are just so crazed. Yeah, man, you got Trump to derange him. No, Trump is deranged, and that's maybe why I have a syndrome. But we need to arrest this criminal. What else happened? Recently? Oh, Pelosi. So this just happened. I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to save the whole Elon thing for my Armageddon update on Wednesday. But so Pelosi. Her husband, someone went to kill Nancy Pelosi. Let's be clear, people. This is not a break-in. This is a dude who is a right-wing psychopath who broke into Nancy Pelosi's house in San Francisco to kill Nancy Pelosi. She wasn't home because he doesn't obviously use the fucking internet to find out where she's at. But
I did wonder about that. I was like, dude,
click, clack, clack. Oh, she's in Washington. I'll wait. Goes to her house, breaks in, wakes her husband up. Her husband goes, all right, calm down. I'll call her. Fucking hits 911 and then acts like he's talking to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, no, he's a friend. He's here. He wants you to come home, babe. Yeah, he's here. You know, he's angry. He's very agitated. And the cops fucking hear it. They show up to his house. At this point, I guess the guy brought 2 hammers, and he had it in his hand. Mr. Pelosi grabbed it. 82, by the way. The dude, and then the cops showed up. By the way, a little update, everybody. Guys, if a guy's got a weapon on you and the cops show up, don't accept that you're safe. Hold on to the hammer until the cops take it away. So he let it go because the cops show up, and the guy started beating the shit out of him with him while the cops were there, and they had to get him off him. So
he had brain surgery.
And this was all done because people are doing shit. Like, there's Republican guys shooting fucking there's a guy shooting on the range. Bam. You know what, man? Yeah, it's time to fire Nancy Pelosi. You're holding a gun saying it's time to fire Nancy Pelosi.
Well, you're firing. What?
But babe, if Kanye West can connect 10 different things that don't make any sense, a fucking one half psycho guy can go, fire Nancy Pelosi. He's firing a gun. Go with me.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Are you gonna bring up
So how do you not talk about, we're about to lose our democracy. How do you not talk about it? Are you cool with it? Do you guys want to be Iran, where women are actually shut down constantly, where basically and anybody who doesn't believe what the president believes, they also get shut down? Is that what you want? Or do you want to live in a democracy that we grew up in? Fuck, man. It's time to talk about politics.
Well,
and if you aren't talking about it or trying to solve it, the fuck are you doing here?
The morality police is essentially what they did in Texas, allowing private citizens to take it on themselves to look for women and girls having abortions and then report them.
And you can sue them for $10,000.
This episode, no good segue from that, brought to you by Liquid IV, one of our favorite products and one that we used. So I took some with me to North Carolina because I've been gone 2.5 weeks and used all of it.
I brought 4 bags.
He brought 4 bags.
So you have to understand, family
supply
vacation.
soldiers showed up.
Family vacation at the beach is there's an ABC store in North Carolina. We all go buy the alcohol we want. Aunt Kathy, who is the alchemist of all drinking, can make stuff up that you're like, what is this? Like, take one of Kathy's drinks and you're like, she can turn.
Are you a Freemason? What is this?
Yeah, exactly. She could literally turn. So like just a teetotaler. Amish people be like, I'm in. This is great. So, thank God for Liquid IV, because if we did not have Liquid IV, I would not have been able to wake up the next day many times. I would pound 2 of them before I went. We'd drink with the family, playing guitar, whatever. We're playing cards, drink it. Everyone just kept filling their drinks. Then boom, 2 Liquid IVs at night. Wake up the next morning. I
made Grandma have one because she was getting dehydrated from being sick from the chemo.
Yep.
It is a night and day difference. My uncle Philip, who came for the first time, actually took a picture of it, held it up, and took a picture because it's as he said, a game changer. So
let's talk about your
even when you're not drinking, you can still use.
Yeah,
Liquid
I was
IV.
going to say you felt nauseous and like Ray got sick, and she got sick, and then she pounded a Liquid IV and it mellowed out. You know, I mean, you know, it's. You know, we use it often. Yesterday we got 6 new bags, and
we were so happy. We were so happy because golden cherry came.
Yes.
And grape,
watermelon,
strawberry. You like watermelon?
Concord grape.
Yeah. Golden cherry.
I'm bringing you a bag
number
from the
1.
house.
Yeah. Oh, they have so many good flavors. Yep. So pina colada too. If you mix pina colada with a pineapple Waterloo and vodka, it's so good. And then you can kind of cancel things out.
By the way, none of this research is backed up by a doctor.
Dr. Bradley.
Dr.
You get
Rachel
5
Bradley.
essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C, 3 times the electrolytes of those regular sports drinks. Non-GMO, no gluten, no dairy, no soy. It's amazing, and they're on a mission to change the world. They've donated over 25 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world. So grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get 15% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Titus at checkout. That's 15% off anything that they have, even the bundles, that anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code Titus at liquidiv.com.
We ain't lying. It's good stuff.
It's such a part of our daily lives. It's
really
ridiculous.
is. It really is.
What else happened while we were gone? I've been gone for 2.5 weeks.
Kanye. A couple of weeks ago, we did a crazy Kanye episode, and then I was like, he's trying to promote the podcast because he got crazier. Fucker went crazier after that. Started talking about Jews again. I think the scariest thing he did was, and it's weird, because my mom was mentally ill, I can see it when it's happening. And I watched him on the interview where he goes, I can say anything anti-Semitic, and Adidas can't do nothing to me. And then he goes, what now? What now? And there's just, I got chills. I was like, because that's what mom was like, what are you going to do? Yeah. I can be as crazy as I want. What are you going to, well,
because they back people down from the crazy, right?
Yeah. But Adidas was like, yeah. So Adidas got just a shitstorm of people jumping on him.
Balenciaga dropped him.
But Adidas, so here's how bad it was. Adidas makes $267 million per year off of Kanye West Jeezy line. They canceled it. He's done. Over.
Yeezy.
Then Yeezy. Sorry, what did I say? Jeezy?
Jesus.
Sorry.
You mixed this Jesus thing.
Well, he
Jeezy.
did. Sorry. Then the next day, Kanye West showed up with the camera crew at Skechers and was like, "Hey, man, I'm Kanye. You want to? Let's get a contract."
I didn't know that.
And they escorted him out. They were like, no. So then he got, there's the funniest thing. You got to put this video up. There's a thing where he says, he goes, so I had to go to the doctor. I can't say what kind of doctor it is, but he was one of those, doctors. He was, so I go see the doctor, but he was a doctor like, I can't talk about it, but it's like, he was a Jewish doctor. It's like he avoids talking about it for 30 seconds, and then he drops the punchline. He's a Jew. Anyway.
Why did he really need to say Jew?
Here's the thing.
But we talked about this with my Jewish aunt and uncle, who my aunt was just lit up about it, obviously. And so were we. And I was saying I had just read that every fascist movement always has the component of anti-Semitism in it.
Always.
And I don't understand that. And no one really gave me a great explanation.
Yeah. Because supposedly the Jewish people, the way they stay family together, they are great at, and by the way, you can give this to anybody, the Armenians, anybody who comes to America too, but also pretty much any immigrants. If they get together, the Asians, they get together when they first get here and they amass their wealth. They amass it. They buy a house, they buy another house, they buy another house, and pretty soon they're wealthy. Well, the people that have been lazy in their ass off go, hey, how come those guys got all that shit? And that's gone throughout history. The Jewish people have been very, very, very good at handling their business and taking care of each other. And it pisses people off because it's not, we're having that in America right now. We're having it in America right now. Everybody's mad because all these right wingers are mad because how come all the elites? Well, I just worked my ass off.
But they are the elites.
They are no, they're not. They're
no, Trump.
Right. Trump is
his whole Melania, that whole crew, Don Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're intelligent.
They're
not the intellectually elite, but they are the financially elite, and more so now because of the people who have nothing.
Yep.
And Ted Cruz.
But you see the grift.
DeSantis, Harvard, Yale. I mean, these are not you.
No, exactly. Cruz went to Princeton and Yale, and he's like, man, these elites. Dude, just because you wear cowboy boots doesn't make you not an Ivy League dipshit.
And he looks like Boss Hogg when he wears cowboy boots anyway.
He
He's like a baby Boss Hogg. He's got like that baby fupa. I don't like it.
But here's the other thing. Kanye, mental illness has this thing, and my mom did it, where you lock onto something, and when you lock onto it, you can't let it go. And that seems to me that's what Kanye.
Oh, there's a term. It's called perseverate.
I've heard that.
Yeah. There's a term for
that. So it's everything that's going wrong. And by the way, right now in his brain, look at it. He started talking about Jews. What happened? He lost his contract.
He also said George Floyd didn't die from a knee on his neck.
He said George Floyd died of fentanyl, not the knee on his neck for 9 minutes. So at one point, I want to thank you to everybody out there who has a friend that keeps you in check. Everybody out there who's got it, like when you get crazy, goes, fuck, what are you doing, dude? Stop right now. I'm going to end you if you do. I have a couple of friends like that and my lovely wife who just get in my face and just go, stop. Thank God for those people, because Kanye has so much money. Kanye, Elon, and Trump. And I was talking to my agent about this today, my manager. I said, Kanye, Elon, and Trump don't have anybody in their lives that can shut them down. And, Billy is you. I've got great people that'll just go.
They might not be the type of person that will let someone shut them down.
That's not it. They have so much money and power that what happens is that there's got to be someone in your life that you let in. But I would bet you this, when you've got $1 billion and you're friends with that guy and you're flying on his private jet and he's paying for your hotel rooms and you're going to dinners and you got bottle service and you're getting access to the best and the brightest, the sexiest and the hottest, and you're driving in the best. At one point you just go, I'll ride this out.
Well, there has been other artists that have tried to check in with him. Like
Chappelle tried. But you watch Chappelle. There's an interview where they're interviewing Kanye and Chappelle, and Kanye steps up in front of Chappelle, and they talk. And Kanye says, "Oh, hey Dave, do some jokes." And Dave just goes, "Yeah, man, I don't do that. I didn't come here to do jokes." And you really get that. Even Chappelle was a very together dude. It was a little uncomfortable. You have to get in someone's. Here's the thing. The only time in my life, my manager who I'm back with right now, is the only guy in my life that, as I was making him money, at one point told me, "Hey, if you don't fucking stop doing what you're doing, I don't want to take your money anymore." And I realized, oh wow, you're willing to give up money. If you're willing to give up money, you mean this. Yeah. And so I changed my behavior. I was doing my act. That's because of him. I wrote Norman Rockwell. You have to be smart enough, and the problem is when you don't have any. No governor on what you're doing, you got to control. I think Musk with Twitter is a perfect example. Holy shit.
Well, Kanye West's inner circle fears, I'm losing my voice, that he could run out of money within months unless he decreases his spending drastically. He's leading such a lavish life because Adidas stopped payments to him immediately. It just ended. And he's still living like he has 267 million coming in. And people aren't booking him. So that should
I think this is the MC Hammer disease.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by ButcherBox.
Yay!
ButcherBox. I had a friend of ours that listens to the podcast, just tried ButcherBox for the first time and was like, holy shit. Got the turkey, got everything.
When that box shows up.
I've been telling you people.
When that box shows up and you're going through like, oh my God. Oh, what is that? Oh, yeah, it's everything.
It's hard too, finding stuff without added hormones and antibiotics, and that's what they have. They have high quality meat and seafood, 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, wild-caught seafood, humanely raised. It's so expensive too to find at the store, and also harder and harder to find.
Plus with supply chains and stuff, and yet these guys are sourced. And I have to say, I still think ButcherBox chicken is the best chicken I've ever had.
Yeah,
the chicken breast, just so dense, so good.
Something
it's so good.
Extra, it tastes clean. I
it's
guess
weird to get excited about meat, but with ButcherBox, you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, I like ButcherBox. He likes butter basting. His steak.
The steak. Damn.
We're trying to get him a date because he can butter baste.
Hi, people.
Would you like to try my meat?
It's butter basted.
Was that good?
It's butter basted.
Am I catcalling now? Is that what?
I think we're on the ragged edge. We're on the ragged edge, I would say.
So Ken can butter baste you a steak from ButcherBox.
He will also butter baste you.
That's what I heard it too. And period.
Unless you don't want him to, and that's okay too. Maybe you just want him to cry in your arms.
Because he's a class act, you will.
For a fortnight.
Wow.
So comes to your door. That's the amazing thing. You can pick the box, or they've got curated boxes already. It's cheaper, you get better quality, it's greater convenience because you don't have to leave, carbon footprint is less, it's all win. The main course for Thanksgiving dinner is sometimes a source of stress, especially with supply chain stuff. But ButcherBox is offering listeners a free turkey with their first order. All you have to do is sign up today at butcherbox.com/Titus. Use code Titus to get one 10 to 14 pound turkey for free in your first box. That's butcherbox.com/Titus using promo code Titus to claim this.
And guys, we're not kidding. There was the avian flu kind of raged through a lot of the places in the country.
Oh, it's so not
you should order now your turkey. Don't
sign up.
Sign up for ButcherBox. Get that turkey. They will go through. Yeah.
Avian means bird.
Right. Avian flu.
Just
Yeah.
letting you know.
Thank you. That's a fun fact. hey, fun fact early in the show this time. My bad. Avian means bird.
I've seen some comments, so I thought I'd Just clarify some things.
Oh, he's now cliff noting the podcast.
I said, bro, man, you can go down a rabbit hole of comments on this podcast.
Yeah, like, what the?
I've
That's what you saw. That's what you heard.
Christopher Dice TV. I'm like, huh? Like
exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Or the dentist says, oh, by the way, what happened yesterday?
Vladimir Putin's top general is fired and then goes missing.
Wait, who went missing?
He was in his house on the 14th story, and then he wasn't.
That is actually a method of capital punishment in Iran. I wasn't kidding. Stoning.
Yep.
Firing squad. Falling from great heights was one of them.
Falling from great heights.
Putin loves that one. They usually
reserve being the halftime show at the soccer game.
They use falling from great heights for gay people. That's what they use that one for. It's a really
they're still burning witches too.
Country.
I mean, there's like.
Yeah.
But
they're actually not that far caught up yet.
Right.
They'll
Okay. They're not to the dark ages.
It's weird, man. And I'm watching it around the world. China, like what China's doing, what Iran's doing, what Russia's doing. It's almost like we need a worldwide revolution. Like everybody's just got to say, we're not taking this shit anymore, and just shut down these guys, man, because it's crazy and it's worldwide. You know, there's a lot of shit going wrong worldwide, except for Norway and Iceland and Sweden. They seem to be cool.
Yeah.
They're more worried. Well, Sweden, see, Putin fucked up so bad, he doesn't even get it. So Finland and Sweden are joining NATO. And the whole point of going into Ukraine was so nobody joined NATO. And now everybody's like, hey, NATO.
Yeah.
Wait, NATO. Hello.
They're expediting their applications.
Yeah,
Who's next? Come on.
I got a card. So I can join NATO, please.
I got my frequent NATO flyer card.
And I still keep thinking people are still afraid of nuclear war. I'm like, guy, they can't. I keep saying this. He couldn't build a truck.
Yeah.
Like if he's probably scared to launch his nukes or launch the nuclear weapons.
Uh-oh.
I don't. What happened?
Where is everybody?
Hello. Report, please. Nothing. Hello.
Yeah. If anything, social media has a positive effect. It might be that.
Yeah.
As if a worldwide, just all this information comes out of how shitty people are being to each other, that maybe social media might. I'm talking a decade.
But this is what bothers me about Musk is that so Musk is doing this Starlink thing, and it's when you look at what he keeps saying this too. He keeps saying, I love humanity. No, you don't.
No, bullshit.
No, you love you, dude.
Yeah.
You don't love
Who
humanity.
said that?
Musk says it repeatedly.
He's a troll. He loves to troll.
He invented
humanity.
He invented Tesla because he loves humanity. You know, except he charged more for those cars. Why don't you come up with a tiny car that costs $18,000 that everybody can drive?
He just bought Tesla. He didn't create it.
And
right?
he did. You're right. He did not. He actually bought those guys
with his
parents'
money.
Right.
Like
yes,
Jeff Bezos and Trump.
He started.
And Bill Gates.
PayPal with his parents' money. Sold that.
Okay.
Then he sold, and then he used that money. This guy came to him and goes, I want to show you how electric cars can do, looking for money. Elon said, yeah, was what started that for 3 or 4 years. I've got the book. And then basically he fired those guys.
He's very good at raising capital.
Yeah.
Other people's money.
Yeah. And so
but I like my car. I just want to say
I like
that.
my car. My car's
and
awesome.
Me getting rid of my car is not going to hurt him.
No. I'm a convert. I'm a convert to electric cars. But I will say this: once because of the new Dodge Charger EV is hitting, and it's badass looking. It's hitting in 2024. New Ram EV is coming. Dodge Ram 1500 is coming in 2024. So, and I've said this. I got into Tesla early with the little bit of stock I owned because I knew where it was going to go. Once I drove one, I was like, holy shit, this is going to take over. I was dead right. But I also said, people go, we got to, when you hear investors go, man, Tesla's always going to go through the roof. And I'm like, no. Cadillac, do you see the Lyric, the Cadillac Lyric? Beautiful truck. Cadillac, General Motors, Ford. Yeah. Ford's coming out. I'm sorry, you're
Ford
mistaken.
Is out, right?
Once all these people who have built cars for 100 years
and already have factories,
already know what they're doing, and they have all the other extra shit that he doesn't have to figure out, that Elon had to figure out. Once that gets rolling, he's fucked. It's just going to be another car. And so, and unless the only advantage Elon has is that he's got an aerospace company, and because he has an aerospace company,
SpaceX is cool.
Yeah, SpaceX. But every time they invent something new for SpaceX, they can just take that technology and put it in their vehicles. So that's the big deal.
This episode brought to you by Feels. CBD.
I need some right now.
Apparently, according to this, millions and millions of people have anxiety, stress, and sleepless nights. So it's good to know that
Why don't
I'm
you
not
raise
the
your hand?
only
Yeah,
one.
exactly. I was going to say,
Better night's sleep, CBD. We have gotten some letters from people that have had chronic pain their whole lives and have started using this and are officially members and using this every day because it's made such a big difference. It helps with stress, anxiety, pain. It's just a better way to feel better. You're not getting a bunch of crap in your body, you know? They also, if you don't know about it, you can call the CBD hotline and they have experts there that will talk to you about it, help you figure out what
very calm experts. I'll talk you through it.
Hey, man.
Hey, you guys. No, it's cool. It works. Oh, we're sending you something.
Hi, I got a toy taser. Can you help me out, please?
Hey, man, just put it down. You're cool.
Okay.
Take some of this.
You save money on your
Quit
order.
stalking
So
them,
you
man.
join, you save money. It's self-care. This is all part of your self-care routine. And you can pause or cancel it at any time. It is night and day for sleeplessness. It helps with pain. It comes to your doorstep. That's another thing that I love because you don't have to leave. So you don't have to get stressed about going to buy it from somewhere or running out of it. And you can talk to real people. You're not getting automated. It's easy to take. You just put a few drops under your tongue and you feel a difference within minutes. It's pretty amazing stuff. And definitely helped my mom a lot when she was sick. Yep.
It calmed this. It calms. I have it's almost like just after 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Which we all need,
Yep.
especially after listening to this podcast.
Especially you.
Start feeling better with Feels. Become a member today by going to feels.com/Titus and you get 50% off your first order with free shipping.
What?
That's feals.com/Titus to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/Titus. Try the mints. They're awesome.
Do you know what I've always hated about shows? Advertising. I've always hated that because they're just stuffing it up your butt. But because we made that policy a long time ago that unless we use it and we like it, we don't sell it.
Yeah. We're just not shilling something.
No, I don't feel. I never feel bad. I'm always like, oh, we're gonna talk about that.
I did just turn one down today.
Yeah.
So.
You're not gonna tell me what it is. You can tell me the product. Don't tell me the company.
Like a national personal injury firm.
Nope.
Offer.
Nope. No lawyers
I
will be.
turned it down.
No lawyers will be advertised on this
Slip
fucking
and fall.
podcast.
Slip and
Really?
fall.
Accidentes? Did you fall down somewhere? Well, call me. I will help you. We will sue the people that made you fall down somewhere. Okay. Thank you.
Do it as like a Putin voice. He'll be like, did you fall down out of a window?
The thing that makes me crazy about Paul Pelosi right now is that you've got all these right-wing people, including Don Jr., who have posted these memes and they're really ripping on this 82-year-old man getting attacked. And that's the right-wing narrative, which I actually went off on my grandma for at the dinner table. Because it's especially embarrassing because the officers today released his statement and Paul Pelosi's statement and they exactly match.
Yep.
The guy that actually did it. So these assholes, Trump Jr., who else made fun of it? I mean, it was
everybody,
like a lot of
right
Glenn Youngkin,
congressmen. Yeah. Don Jr. posted because I guess
hammer.
he was sleeping a hammer on a pair of underwear, tidy whities, and like I'm getting ready for my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume. It's like.
So now this guy's statement. So
funny.
they did that before. Now the guy's statement is out, and I just thought, how embarrassing! You'll never apologize. You'll never take it back. You'll never say maybe I shouldn't have said. Elon Musk retweeted that he was a gay lover quarrel thing gone bad.
This is a guy. He tweeted. So Elon Musk retweeted the Santa Monica Times, which is some bullshit paper that basically said when Hillary was sick that time,
that
she was writing that she had died and they'd replace her with a body double. So so Musk retweeted that about this Pelosi that he was a gay lover in a fight, and then he said he wanted Twitter to not be a hellscape of just free for all, and yet he's owned it 3 fucking days and he retweets that.
But then he deleted it, which is the most interesting thing, is because he has the ability to know that saying something has a negative consequence, or it's can have an impact or something.
Or have a civil case.
Yeah, something. But yet he wants it to be just an free speech, no matter what, free for all. Say whatever fuck you want.
He took it private too. I'm going to do an Armageddon update about this on Wednesday, but he took it private because when you have stockholders, you have to be responsible to them. And they have votes, and they can say, we don't want it to be this. It has to be this. Let's make this something that doesn't let psychos fucking ruin shit. And because, we want it to be a fun thing. Once you take it private, that means you can do whatever you want. So he gets to, like the Hearsts or anybody who ran media, Murdoch's, he gets to control the media, which is only to his benefit. So when he says, I'm doing it for humanity, you're full of shit, bro. Yeah. You're fucking full of shit, period. And he didn't go to college.
Oh, of course.
He just studied all those books. He hires the right guy, Steve Jobs.
You have them. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Jobs.
Let's answer a few questions.
Yeah, let's do these.
I didn't go to college either. I'm fine with
that. This is the good timing for this one. This is from Facebook. This is from Jessica Hux. Okay. How do you deal with ultra-conservative Trump-supporting family members who absolutely despise Biden over the holidays?
Oh, we just did this.
I can tell what I did. Here's the problem. Some of these people have been in your life, since you were little kids forever. And they're not, God, it's weird. I have to say this. They're not bad human beings. My aunt and uncle, any of my relatives that are conservative aren't bad human beings. There's something that, because the fairness doctrine died, that has made them trigger. Like, you fucking can say one thing and they'll trigger, like anger. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Biden's obviously a nice man. He's been married to the same woman forever, loves his kids. That call they played, like where he was telling the son, look, I just want you to be okay, bud.
Obviously loves him.
It's obvious. You can tell the guy's a good guy. And for some reason, we have all
kinds of video and pictures over the years of him going to church. We don't have that.
And for some fucking reason, dude, you bring up Biden to some of these people. So what happened was this weekend, two of the most hardcore right-wing family members, who again, both of them, that aside, I love them dearly. He stayed and he needed his dose of Fox because it's just a dopamine hit. Yeah. All those fucking going, yeah, Biden's evil. It's a dopamine hit, and he stayed in his room. And I walked into his room to get my Aunt Kathy had made one of her drinks, and I walked in and handed it to him. And he's like, "All right." And I said, and I watched, and I listened to literally 5 minutes of Jesse Waters, and I just looked at him. And I go, in the last 6 years, nothing he said can be proven to be true. Nothing, not one thing. And he just goes, "This is what he said. Can you just let me watch my show?"
Oh, it's a show.
It's this, man. Fuck. By the way, hate feels like power.
Yeah, it feels,
and it's not.
Negativity feels good.
Yes, negative. It feels like power, and it's not. So how do I deal with them? We didn't talk about politics
I did.
once.
Grandma, I'm realizing some things are being fed to her, and Grandma just takes it and says it back. And certain people in the family are feeding it pretty aggressively right now. And so she, as soon as this Paul Pelosi thing came out, obviously had gotten an email or a newsletter or something. And she says at the dinner table, well, he said, I cannot believe that he didn't have his doors locked and that he didn't have a gun. And I said, in front of everyone, 14 people or something, I go, this is what the world has come to. This right here, where an 82-year-old man is attacked in the middle of the night in his own home, and you're victim blaming because that's what you heard on a website or in the fake news or whatever. And she goes, well, I just think it's weird that he didn't have a gun. And I said, you're 89. Do you have a gun in your home? And she goes, well, no. I said, good. I think we're done here. Everyone uncomfortably went back to eating.
To Miss Hux, I'll tell you this. You know what else I do? Is like, I was on my phone. I'm on my phone sitting at the table with my relatives, and I just go, oh, wow. Stock market went up 800 points today.
You did that a lot.
And then I would go, oh, wow. Wow, trade deficit's dropped another. Oh wow, 1.4 trillion in the deficit.
You got to counter it with the positive.
And I would go, "That's great, isn't it?" I would go, "Isn't that great?" And then I would just put my phone down.
Nice.
I did that too. 1.4 trillion, biggest drop in U.S. history. That's amazing, isn't it?
Can I get another drink, please?
I did that constantly.
Well, but there you got to do it. And I would say this: it is not worth burning down your family over this shit, because these guys are going. I say it in my show, my new show too. On last show, I said it too. It's not worth it. So just avoid it. If you know it's going to trigger, if they
you
start,
can avoid it, yeah.
if they start, go. Yeah, if you can. Some people you can't. They want to. I had relatives come up to me one time and just said, "Which side are you on?" Fuck are you talking about? I'm on America.
Next
I don't know.
question.
I don't know. Let's go.
All right, let's switch gears. This is also from Facebook. John Grubbs asks, question for you both. What's been the most rewarding moment in your professional career? If you like, also goes with personal.
Wow. So my professional career, my best moment was when I got nominated for the Writers Guild Awards.
Yeah.
By the way, quickly followed by one of the worst professional things because someone got mad that I got it. Someone got mad that I got nominated for Writers Guild Award, and that was a screaming fight.
Oh.
No, not his
no,
ex.
no, it wasn't my ex.
Co-worker.
It was one of the co people on the show. They got really furious, and then I asked them, I go, "Did you submit a script?" And they went, "No."
Okay, so
I remember being stunned, but that was great.
Could be personal or business.
Personal, my best moment was marrying Rachel. That was the big. I couldn't believe it. We were out at Malibu, and it was happening, and we were in the middle of vows, and I wanted to punch the camera person.
And I was going, I'm sinking backwards. I'm sinking. Grab my hands. And you did, and you kind of pulled me out of the dirt a little bit.
Because she had heels on. It was sinking into the and that was the and then that night at Joffrey's, that was probably my best professional moment my best personal moment of my life.
But my greatest life accomplishment is taking care of my mom through cancer.
Yep.
Greatest, could not top it. Will never be able to top it. I'm grateful for it every day of my life.
Because people didn't get it in your family and they missed out.
And I see the difference.
Yes.
And I am you guys know I talk about this, the Southern shame. Damn, did I get smacked in the face with that several times over the last 2 weeks and stepped back to it, didn't take it anymore. Did I? I was mad.
It was
you were
crazy.
like, I like this new Rachel.
Southern shame. So Southern people were raised with the shame. You're always doing something wrong. You're drinking. Something's wrong. You're always doing something wrong. And this has been going on since I've known you. And you just kind of stepped into it and you owned it and you whatever.
It culminated in me standing up from the dinner table and yelling at the top of my lungs, I like vodka. I like it.
Dude, we're not kidding. It was literally like the word, like a sitcom episode. They were talking about drinking, and she just stood up and was like, I like vodka. You get wow.
There's no difference between wine and vodka. It's just fermentation. It's just preference.
But it was also,
I don't like wine. I like vodka. I like vodka. I was just, and Grandma was like,
I've never seen it. Like most people get that strident when they're coming out to announce their family they're gay. You were like, I like vodka.
Really,
baby steps. So go baby steps.
Because my stepdad was there and he's read the Talmud. He speaks Arabic. My stepfather
was brutal.
he has 2 master's degrees, taught at West Point. He knows the Bible backwards and forwards, and he's sitting there. He married us actually, and Grandma's like this as I'm doing that speech where I've finally exploded, and then he goes, well, actually, yes, she's right. The Bible doesn't say anything about liquor being the demon liquor like Grandma, it says, and
Jesus did.
It's not different. The only time they specifically mention it, they're technically referencing Egyptian mead because it had a higher alcohol content, but it wasn't liquor because we didn't have that back then. And she's
Mic
just
drop.
like,
Boom.
and then she goes, well, Jesus never drank in the Bible. No, he didn't. And he goes, actually, there's 4 instances where Jesus partakes and he starts going down the Bible verses. And I was just like,
it was just
that's what you need in your pocket all the time.
Religious
so
keto.
I took my bottle of vodka, which was this tall, and I just picked it up and made myself a drink. And not another word the rest of the week and a half that was left. So my uncle, Philip,
thank you.
He has started texting me, the one from New York, in all caps, I like vodka too. I like vodka too.
That's our next shirt. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
like vodka, all caps.
All right. This is from YouTube. This is from Gnarly Skills Dos Adar.
I like Gnarly Skills.
Yeah. How has your comedic style changed over the years? From your vantage point, or to what you've heard other comics / peers say about your work?
Well, I can go from when I started. When I started, I was
Suck less.
I suck less. I was a cheerleader of comedy with no jokes. I jumped up and down. I did herkies. I high-fived the audience. I ran around like a crazy man, just trying to get them to like me. And then
we have footage of that.
And then when I went, we do. We can put that up. Then I did Norman Rockwell's Bleeding, where I decided there's a day when in comedy or acting or music or whatever, when you finally just decide, I'm tired of trying to make you like me. Yeah. And now I'm fucking doing what I want to do.
I have something to say.
Yeah. And now
it comes out of you, which is weird.
I always say it's like a cyst that pops finally, and you're like, blah, blah, blah. And
you spend so much of the early years trying to get over.
Yeah.
And do all the tricks and do the things that you gotta do. And oh my God, they're drunk. It's Friday Late Show. Please like me. And then you're finally just like, fuck off.
Yeah. One day you go, fuck these people.
I'm talking about cancer.
Yeah. Right. So that happened with Norman Rockwell. And then since then, I still had fear until the Carrying Monsters. Carrying Monsters, this new one I'm doing, has shown me that I can make anything funny. Well,
you say that every special, and it's so funny because you would not watch his specials even from Norman Rockwell on and think, oh, he had fear. You handled some pretty heinous topics.
True.
It's just that we're always operating out of fear and desperation when you're a comedian, and it's action in the face of fear.
Yeah, you have to keep pushing it, I guess. But then again, if you look at Carlin too, like when you see him on like right here, Ed Sullivan, you see him and he's like this goofy, and then you see him at the end, he's like, fuck hope. And you're like, wow, that's a
you're all gonna die. Thanks. Good night.
So I think any comic, I will say this, I'm getting more, as you get older, you get more wise, you start to see how things really work because you've seen it over and over again, and you start to be darker.
I think we got to give shorter answers, or else we can do some more Wednesday, right?
Your comedy's changed a lot. How would you say yours changed?
Yeah, I suck less. Next question.
We should make this part of our
nobody cares.
Nobody cares? All right. Well, here's a fun one then. This is from YouTube, from Veronica Voel.
Okay.
Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you could be any Disney character, who would you be and why? You could be any Disney character.
Watch movies.
Oh, but you're familiar with Disney characters.
I would not be Bambi's
There's a lot
mother.
of princesses.
I know that.
There you go. That's a good point.
I would not be Old Yeller. Was that Disney?
I would not be any character from the Song of the South. I would
not be
one of the racist crows from Song of the South.
I would not be the guy in Up's wife. Was that Disney? I don't know. Whatever.
Pixar.
Sure.
Pixar's owned by Disney.
A lot of people die in those movies. Who would you be? Disney.
What do you mean Disney character? You mean like the originals?
No, you can't. Just any character, right?
Man, Disney character. I would be the.
Well, everything's Disney now. So you've got Marvel now. You've got Star Wars.
Who would I be, man? That's a weird question. What Disney character would I be?
I would be Snow White from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because I would be really freaking awesome to have 7 tiny people following me around everywhere and building me things and singing to me.
And with your yard.
She would constantly giggle. You would constantly.
Oh, and I could be on the yard. Yeah, I would love that. Who would you be?
In Jungle Book, the ape that sang the Louis
Armstrong character.
You and I could also,
because he was on his game. He was in charge. He knew he was in charge. Could sing.
He was great. Yeah. You and I would also be great as the Siamese. We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please.
They were dark, creepy as shining.
With our tails.
No, do you remember? So it was Lady and the Tramp. Lady and the Tramp, man. I remember being a little kid and scared to death of those cats.
Yeah, they were really
By the way,
scary.
I would say this. Lady and the Tramp made me hate cats, specifically Siamese cats.
They were scary. Yeah.
They were scared. They were like, these cats are going to fuck someone
Okay,
up.
give us one more.
Oh, one more. Okay.
You can stuff your fun facts up your ass.
Clearly.
He's got to get on flight.
For Titus.
Yo.
This is from, hi, Titus. This is from Andrew Barreto. Which is harder to live with in your life? Your ex-wife or politicians?
Wow. The one thing about my ex-wife is when the kids got 18, it ended.
No.
Oh, that's true.
Well, not really. Right?
But who would you, if you had to live with one or the other?
So if one had to be perfect, which one would you pick to be perfect?
No. It's it's basically who would be harder to live with,
Yeah,
your
harder to live
ex,
with. Like, you always
or
had to live
some
with
of
them.
these, or you had
I could
Ted
never-
Cruz.
I would just Ted Cruz would be the worst roommate, but I could fight him.
That's true. You could lay hands on that bitch.
That's true. The end. Okay, and now
It's Highlanders fun fact. Fun fact. It's Highlanders fun fact.
he's never sure where you're going to go.
No, he's not. That's why,
I
by the
never-
way,
I
mean-
by the way,
Face
that's
now.
why I look at the camera because
he changed the key on the Siamese cat thing. Second line,
Yeah.
you just gotta
use 2 ears.
but he's like a laser. You're like a Yorkie and I've got a ball. He's like, okay.
Happy Halloween, everyone. This is Halloween themed.
Okay.
The word witch comes from the Old English word wick that meant wise woman. What happened there?
So Wiccan would mean like wise, like a wise religion.
Wise woman
Yeah.
person.
Wiccan were actually thought of in a positive light, with their opinions being highly respected.
And then they had maggots back then too. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. No, it's really
I
wise.
used to do a bit.
Burner.
Speaking of comedy changing, I used to do like in that women stuff. I used to do a bit about how
Burn
they
witch.
used to burn witches. I don't remember how it went, but I just remember there was this one part where I was like, "Do you realize if men could burn every woman today that they thought was a witch?" What was the punchline of that? I had a whole thing about that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, you could
That's insane. Just randomly, like,
The funny thing is like it's like here's men. This circles back this whole show because men found smart, wise women and were like, burn her.
No.
yeah.
No.
Burn her. Plus, she won't wear the shit on her hair, so burn her.
It's a bankrupt system, though. It's if she survives the burn at the stake,
She's a witch.
or if she floats instead of drowns with the bricks tied to her feet,
Yeah.
then yeah. But the only way to find out is to kill her.
It's a killer.
But I have a question. Didn't anybody at one point go, "Hey guys,
No one
if
has survived.
If she was a witch, wouldn't she just killed us?"
Before,
Yeah, before we set her on fire.
or put her in the water.
Yeah, you think maybe she'd
yeah.
have stopped it? She'd have levitated or burst you into flames?
They weren't big on data. They weren't checking stats. Let's check the stats
Shut
here.
up! We're going to burn her. Shut up! God damn! I told her we were going to burn her.
What else floats?
Tiny rock,
Very small rock. Very small rocks.
guys. Thanks for
A duck.
Thanks for watching and watching.
She is a witch. She turned me into a newt. I got better.
Thanks for watching and listening to Titus Podcast. Guys, please, we're going to be in San Diego this week at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. Rachel is headlining on Thursday. We want you to come to the show, see Rachel's new show. I have to be honest with you. I have watched it 16 or 17 times completely, and I cannot. It's her Norman Rockwell. It's your Norman Rockwell, where I'm like at the end, it takes you on the journey. It's awesome. So Thursday night at the Mic Drop Comedy Club this week in San Diego. I'll be there Friday and Saturday doing Carrying Monsters, which I told my manager today is a motherfucker. And I don't say that a lot. It's a really good one. Do me a favor, go to ChristopherTitus.com for the merch. We got the Scream Sanity shirts, and please always scream sanity. And when we're talking about politics, people, I can't wait till this is over, till we are back on a track of calm in America where we know that, oh, who's running the country? I don't know. It's so boring. They're doing it so
help
good.
us by voting.
Yeah,
Even
vote.
vote. Please vote. Even if you
Use
think
democracy.
your vote doesn't make a difference because you're
Or
in
lose.
California or a very
Yep.
red state, it matters. Please vote.
Use democracy or lose democracy. Vote. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You got anything you want to say? Go. Oh, by the way, get Highlander's album on iTunes. Do we put the new our album up on iTunes yet?
Yep.
It's
on iTunes. Yep.
Wait.
It's
Zero
on
Side
iTunes.
Effects is on
Zero
iTunes?
Side Effects is on iTunes.
Zero Side Effects is on iTunes. Or you can get it at that. Go to ChristopherTitus.com and you can get it. Get the merch. Do everything. Help us out. We don't ask for subscriptions. So do me a favor. Buy something for God's sake.
Also, don't forget we have those Florida dates coming up. One show only in Orlando at the Orlando Improv. Then we are back in West Palm Beach. Finally, that is at a theater that whose name I just forgot. And
We're so good at promo.
what is it? Kravitz Center for the Performing Arts.
Yeah.
And then the 19th is Tampa. It's the Strauss Center, Ferguson Hall. We've been there a couple times before, so make sure you get tickets to those because they're filling up rapidamente. What is the name of it?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. By the way, it'll be on the website, ChristopherTitus.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you.
It's the Rinker Playhouse.
All right, the Rinker Playhouse.
West Palm Beach.